Subscribe. 订阅，订阅. Anyways, after I've been watching Dark Myth Wukong, the video game, I learned about Journey to the West. And this video here is called How the Monkey King Came to Be. Let's check it out. After I take a sip of my delicious blueberry smoothie.
Hey everybody, it's Mike.
It's Dan, you're watching Off the Great Wall. There are a lot of myths, legends, and stories from Chinese history, and one of my favorite, of course, is the story of the Monkey King from the literary masterpiece Journey to the West.
That's right. If you didn't know, Journey to the West is one of the 4 great classical novels of Chinese history, or 四大名著. The other 3 being Outlaws of the Marsh, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and Dream of the Red Chamber.
Over the years, a lot of you wanted us to get into these classics, so let's start here with Journey to the West and how the Monkey King came to be.
Yes, the legend begins in the eastern continent, in a land known as Superior Body. There, on top of Flower Fruit Mountain, Huaguoshan, rested a magical rock. Since the time of creation, the rock had collected the essence of heaven, earth, and the stars. As eons came and went, the miraculous rock ever so slowly grew a stone egg, bearing a supernormal spirit.
Suddenly, the rock
stone egg,
open, giving birth to a monkey. At first, the monkey lives among the regular apes on Flower Fruit Mountain until one day he displays his courage and wisdom by jumping through a waterfall and discovering behind it a special cave. The other apes follow him into the cave and live there, crowning him their Monkey King.
That's right, he spends his days in frolic and feast, but not for long. Soon, he discovers mortality and realizes that despite his life of luxury, by luxury he means, never-ending fruits.
Peaches.
I guess that's luxury for some people.
That's right.
One day he too will die. He becomes despondent and decides to give up everything to seek immortality. He leaves the mountain and, disguising himself in human clothing, finds a Taoist master.
The monkey quickly becomes the Taoist's favorite disciple. He learns magical powers like the 72 transformations, which allow him to become anything he wants, and the ability to fly 60,000 miles in one somersault. I mean, not literally, right? That's just a figure of speech.
No, literally.
No, seriously?
Seriously.
In one somersault?
One somersault.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
He also has
That's fast.
Which is the cloud that he was
that he rides on.
That he rides on,
Okay.
which also, Dragon
Like
Ball
Nimbus?
stole.
They definitely
Nimbus.
stole that. The Taoist names the monkey Sheng Wukong, meaning awaken to emptiness.
After leaving his master, Sun Wukong, who was always rather mischievous, makes himself unpopular among the deities. He disrupts the dragon palace of the Eastern Sea, demanding an armor and a special weapon, which happens to be the Dinghai Shenzhen, or the divine needle that keeps the oceans calm. So he went ahead and just took this holy needle that's supposed to calm the oceans. So right now, whenever you go to the oceans and there's choppy waves and people encounter these bad weather, that's all his fault. He even goes down to the underworld and terrorizes the king of hell.
Well, that's not so bad.
Well,
King of Hell.
So he could take his name off the book of death.
Oh my!
So he could never die.
That's cool.
So after getting tortured by him, the deities all flew up to heaven to register a formal complaint with the great Jade Emperor. It's kind of like telling your dad.
Yeah. They're like, this monkey's messing up our
Hey,
stuff.
come on, stop this monkey.
It's pretty funny.
Stupid
To
monkey.
keep him from causing any more mayhem, the Jade Emperor bestows upon the monkey the title of Protector of the Horses in the imperial stables. Sun Wukong is
Protector
initially
of the
satisfied,
horses.
But when he discovers that he's nothing more than a staple boy, or heavenly staple boy, he returns home and calls himself Qi Tian Da Shen, or the great sage equal to heaven, basically insinuating that he is as great as the heavens.
Unable to stomach this, the Jade Emperor sent heavenly warriors to capture Sun Wukong, but they were no match for his abilities. The Jade Emperor then tried to catch flies with honey, which I never understood.
That's
why
a
would
big.
you want to catch flies?
Is that a bamboo stick needle?
Anyway, he tried to play nice and gives Sun Wukong a new celestial post, Guardian of the Immortal Peach Orchard. Like, really? Did he really think that was gonna work? You give a monkey the job of guarding peaches.
Yeah, nah.
Right? It's like,
Peaches.
Hey, wolf, why don't you guard these sheep? But Sun Wukong is as arrogant and unruly as ever, obviously.
One day, as the story plays out, the deities decide to throw a banquet for the Empress Queen Mother. All the gods are invited, but Sun
Good
Wukong,
artist.
or otherwise known as the Great
Good
Sage
art.
Equal to Heaven, is not on the guest list. Sun Wukong gets very, very angry.
He sneaks into the heavenly palace, steals the peaches of eternal life, the imperial wine, and the elixir pills of immortality. Like, isn't that like overly saturated
I know,
on
man.
immortal stuff? He then throws a tantrum, sabotages the festivities, and destroys the orchard. He has to be stopped.
This time, the Jade Emperor sends 100,000 heavenly warriors to arrest Sun Wukong, but to no avail. Only the combined powers of the three-eyed deity, Erlongshen, and the great Taoist Lord Lao Tzu capture him at last.
But
Lao Tzu?
the monkey had already feasted on the peaches of eternal life and downed the elixir pills of immortality. So neither fire nor axe nor lightning seemed to affect him. Lord Lao Tzu then casts the monkey into his 8-triagram furnace. The result? After 49 days in the flame, the most powerful crucible of Taoist alchemy, Sun Wukong emerges, yes, not
That's
as a
cool.
roasted monkey,
I like the
but,
artist.
completely unscathed. In fact, the heat also gave him fiery eyes with supernatural penetrating vision.
Finally, after
Huh?
all else is filled, the Jade Emperor begged Buddha to help defeat Sun Wukong. So the Buddha challenges Sun Wukong to a dare. Wukong needs
Buddha's
to get
very
up with his
big.
hand and then jump out of it. But Sun Wukong had met his match and could not overcome the Buddha's divine powers.
When Sun Wukong flew to what he thought was the edge of the universe, he found 5 pillars. And then, to prove that he was there, he wrote Sun Wukong Dao Ci Yi You, or Sun Wukong was here. Then he peed,
Big ol' hand.
on one of the pillars. But then he flew back, ready to gloat. Then the Buddha showed Sun Wukong that the pillars were actually his fingers. So he kind of peed on his hand,
Oh,
which is gross.
finger pillar.
But the fact was, Sun Wukong never left Buddha's palm. Buddha then turned his hand over and trapped Sun Wukong under a mountain called Wuzhishan, or Five Finger Mountain, where he remained captive for 500 years.
By then, it was
500.
China's Tang Dynasty, and the time came for a Buddhist monk to go on a dangerous journey in search of sacred scriptures. He would need protection as he travels from the ancient Tang capital of Chang'an to what is now known as India. And so the Buddha arranged for the Tang monk to pass by the mountain where the Monkey King was trapped, and for Bodhisattva Guan Yin to come down and release the fellow.
Sun Wukong was now willing to obey and remain faithful to his new master monk and his mission, but his mischievous nature had not changed. So the Bodhisattva gives the monk a magical golden headband to place around the monkey's head. When Sun Wukong needs to be controlled, his master monk will recite an incantation and the headband.
Could
will
you imagine
spin
being under a
until
mountain
it
for 500
begins to
years?
explode. That's how you tame the Monkey King.
That's right. So then Sun Wukong went on this divine journey, protecting his master monk and fellow travelers on their journey. This group would face a total of 81 trials and tribulations on their way to find the sacred scriptures, at the same time cultivating themselves.
Classic story. The theme
Cool.
of which really teaches perseverance, right?
That's right. And it's pretty much like half of the tribulations are demons that try to eat the Tangshans.
Because the legend was if you eat one bite of his flesh, you get eternal life. That's why all the
Exactly.
demons trying to eat him.
And not only that, but the other two
Oh.
travelers, the Pigsy.
Yeah, he wants
and
eternal
Sand
life.
Monk, like,
Kind of useless.
yeah,
Kinda
like
useless.
they created more trouble, and
Yeah.
and like the Monkey King had to bail them out on numerous occasions.
Yeah, especially Pigsy, because he's like trying to get married like all
He's
the time.
like, oh my god, he's gluttonous, he's lustful. I
Yeah.
mean, like, why was he on the journey anyways? Like,
Well, he was being punished. But the other guy, Sandy,
Yeah.
as we called him,
who's like a
He's-
frightful monk.
I mean, he's very good.
Right.
Like he didn't have really all these problems that Pigsy had.
Right.
He was kind of weak.
yeah,
He couldn't really
yeah.
fight well. I mean,
Yeah.
he's pretty strong, but like everyone beats him up. Like
So what was the result?
Oh,
the
okay.
results, you'll have to wait because we don't want to spoil the ending for you. And hopefully one day we'll have this whole series, episode by episode, presented to you guys. But today we
The
wanted to
Monkey
give you a
King.
basic overview of the story of how the Monkey King came to be. All right, guys. Anyway, that's the story of how the Monkey King came to be, and we'll try to get all this whole series out to you at some point in the future. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. See you later.
Later, guys.
Speaking of the Monkey King, Someone in the comments wanted me to watch Journey to the West, Episode 1, The Monkey King is Born. So it's 44 minutes long. Hopefully I don't get a copyright if I watch it. That might be what I do next. So I'm just learning all about Journey to the West, The Monkey King, and all that. So after this Episode 1, I think it's 1986. We'll see how it is. Thanks for watching if you did, and peace out.